Monsanto is a long-term criminal enterprise. From 1961 to 1971, the United States government sprayed Agent Orange over 1/8 of South Vietnam and southern Laos and western Cambodia. They sprayed about 19 million gallons of 15 different herbicides. Monsanto and Dow Chemical were the two largest of 38 companies, chemical companies that manufacture that stuff in great quantities for the U.S. They were making so much money, and the United States had given them an open-ended contract. We'll take as much as you can send us, that they proceeded to create these herbicides with shortened manufacturing processes that introduced dioxin, one of the most poisonous chemicals known to man, into these herbicides. 1/8 of the country, the triple canopy jungle, the rice paddies in Vietnam were sprayed multiple times. The jungle, once destroyed, never grows back. And now Vietnam has large sections of mountainsides that are now grassy, where they used to have beautiful jungle full of animals and diversity of plants that will never grow back. Yet Monsanto and Dow and the other chemical companies have walked away from lawsuits, thanks to the Supremes, that tried to hold them to account for this. Really what this is a crime. It's a war crime to attack people's food stuff, to attack people's land, and that's what they did then, and they have said we don't have any responsibility for that, and the U.S. Supreme Court agrees with them. So this long-term criminal enterprise now is continuing in their effort to create greater and greater profits. I'm sure that people have talked about the Roundup Ready corn that they sold for the last 20 years, and that is now ineffective. So now they are selling 2,4-D ready corn. Now 2,4-D was half of Agent Orange, the other half being 2,4,5-T, and that half of that 2,4-D is still on the market and is being sold widely around all over the world. In fact, Monsanto is now back in Vietnam trying to talk the Vietnamese into allowing them to sell them their 2,4-D ready corn. So they can not only sell them the corn, but they can sell them the 2,4-D. And that's a big problem in Vietnam. There's a bunch of controversy. It's being discussed widely throughout the country because while most of the dioxin came from the 2,4,5-T in Agent Orange, 2,4-D is the 7th greatest purveyor of dioxin even today. There is dioxin contaminant in 2,4-D. And so they want to sell us this corn, sell the Vietnamese this corn, and then eventually it will create super weeds just as the Roundup Ready corn has, and create vast destruction.